Hello Internet and welcome to Pete's Media Reviews and another movie review, and this time I'm reviewing The Mummy, and what a movie it is. Full of action, full of laughter, full of fun, a couple of jumpy moments and that. It's all in there. It's quite a mixed bag, but yeah, all in all it's a nice one to review. It's actually the last movie I actually watched, so it's fresh in my mind, although I have seen the movie many times. As always, I'm going to be scoring on storyline, acting, production, personal enjoyment and replayability, marks out of 10. And then at the end I give it a mark overall score out of 50. So this is a 1999 movie with Brendan Fraser and John Hannah particularly, and I'm not the sort of person that goes for movies because of an actor. I suppose if I was, John Hannah would be the one to draw me to this movie though. So the storyline then, it's a jolly good romp through the Egyptian sands, and generally what I would refer to as a good old yarn. As a movie, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is, in my opinion, it's a really good thing, especially with a movie like this. And so in this instance, we have this ancient cursed mummy. It's been inadvertently brought back to life, and the heroes have to find a way to defeat it before it casts its retribution upon the whole of humanity. So it's a pretty compelling storyline with non-stop action, and it really is non-stop action. The heroes really barely get time to breathe. It's that kind of movie. Do you know what I mean? So in the context of that, I would call it. You could call it an action horror movie. It's not a horror movie in the classic horror movie sense, but it's got a kind of an underlying humour to it, which is the part which doesn't take itself too seriously, which, like I say, it's a really good thing. So that means I rate it a bit higher in this regard. For storyline, the score I give it is 7 out of 10. So 7 for storyline. So that's really good. So moving on to acting. So there's no outstanding acting during the course of this movie, which, with perhaps the exception of John Hannah, who plays the brother of the love interest in the film. I personally think that John Hannah is an incredibly gifted actor who raises the profile of the movie overall. So to clarify, nobody was doing a bad job of acting here. It's just I felt John Hannah was probably the only performance that was actually above average. So of course that brings the overall score down. But still it's a respectable 5 out of 10. So for acting, 5 out of 10. Moving on to production then. Now, what can I say about production? Some nice sets, lovely locations. The costumes were gorgeous. They were really fitting for the overall theme. A fantastic movie score, really nice, and some lovely lighting and some great camera work and editing to boot. So all in all, it scores quite highly on the production. So given that it is a higher production movie anyway, so what they've done with that has actually been pretty darn good. So for me, that's a 7. Moving on then to personal enjoyment. I have watched this movie many times and I really enjoy it. Right from the get-go, you know exactly what you're in store for. Even from the first time you pick the movie up, you think, what's this? Oh, it's The Mummy. And you read the book, you go, oh, okay, I'll see if it's anything like it says. And it is. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Really enjoyed it. 7 for personal enjoyment. So my last section is replayability. Now, some of you may think, well, and I've thought about it myself as well. You get personal enjoyment and you get replayability. Aren't they the same thing? Not really. And as I do more of these reviews, you'll see how that comes into effect, and I will mention it then. But for now, replayability, as I have watched this movie many times, I'd have to say that the movie has an extremely high replayability factor. It's maybe the sort of movie you could watch, say, every year, once a year, or every other year at least, and you could still get the same enjoyment from it. Well, at least I personally do. So, for me, replayability is also a 7. So, overall then, the overall score for this movie is 33 out of 50, which is pretty good. That's not a bad score in my opinion. It's like I say, it does what it says on the tin. It really does. It's The Mummy. It's got mummy in it. It's got mummies in it. But obviously the main mummy. Some great special effects. You know, lump it all together. I think 33 out of 50 is a pretty decent score for a pretty decent movie. And cut. That's been me. That's been my movie review. So I will catch you on the next one. So for now, this is me saying, it's a wrap. Bye.